Hola! I'm going to share today the obesity giggles and gasps. There are definitely some things in here that you might consider PG-13. I can't imagine anybody in the planet under 13 watching my channel, but whatever. So the impacts of obesity, the negative and then the positive return on decreasing my level of obesity. First, I'll start with some statistics just to get y'all updated. This week, I went back to my both my surgeon, my bariatric surgeon, and then today I went to my GP, my general practitioner. So I'm going to quit telling you all these, oh, this scale said this and da-da-da-da-da. I've determined that my home scale is in sync with my GP's scale, so I'll just go with that. So my general, from now on, my high weight that I'll just put out there is 240 at 5'2". Eyes of brown. So when I got back from, you do 2 weeks of a diet prior to 2 weeks of meal replacement 2 times a day and a healthy meal, and then 2 or 3 days of liquid diet prior to your surgery. So by the time I got home from the hospital, regardless of what I had gained or lost before then, I was at 230 when I got home from the hospital. So that's a drop of 10 pounds just there. I was disappointed because when you get out of the hospital, I had lost down below the 230, but you swell and retain water and all that fun stuff when you're in the hospital. So yeah, I bumped up a little bit. And then since then, I've lost an additional 13 pounds. So I have lost 23 pounds since the beginning of all this fun stuff. That is about 2.5 weeks. Since surgery of November 20th. So you all know, you can Google it if you don't, the impact of obesity on your health. I had, except for diabetes, I was pre-diabetic but not diabetic. I had every single one of the health risks that you can get from obesity. And really, if you want to go down a little rabbit trail that's interesting, look online about whether obesity just causes general pain. So you know those things. That's not what I'm talking about today. I want to talk about the before and after impact of obesity for my own health, what I have still, and what I'm looking forward to getting rid of. So I would say that the number one way that I've felt my weight gain is I like to sleep on my stomach or my side or what have you. So when I lay back on my back to sleep, it feels like I have way more weight coming in on my neck. Like I can feel the heaviness where I'm like, ugh, I'm going to choke myself from the extra weight that I'm carrying. So physically, that has gotten better already. Getting my mobility, getting up and down, definitely a lot better. And consider, that you think, well, is that true? Is that in my head that I'm, thinking that much better? But I've lost over 2 10-pound bags of potatoes. So everywhere I go, up and down these townhouses, innumerable flipping stairs, if I have to go to the top floor to change out the laundry, I'm going up through 2 flights of stairs. Now my joints are happier because I'm not carrying 2 10-pound bags of potatoes with me just for giggles up and down the stairs. So you can imagine that your mobility is much better even for those kind of major mobility things. Getting in and out of a car, getting in and out of the shower, out of a bath, what have you. But getting in and out of bed is another key one. Whenever I came home from the hospital and I thought that foolishly that I was going to sleep in my own bed right away, I actually have a recliner that is an electric recliner downstairs that I use, and it was awesome. If you have one of those, it's amazing for this kind of thing because you can never get it just right for your the tightness in your chest that you have initially. Of course, I had a hiatal hernia fixed also, not just this. But anyway, I had this little, these are like moving straps, but doesn't matter, to help me get up and everything, so I didn't injure myself, and that I didn't need help with getting in and out of bed initially. But I did that just because I knew that before my mobility was poor, and I was going to need some help because your abs are pretty sore and sensitive initially. So those are kinds of the immediate first things that you think about with obesity. Now, I want to talk about the social part of it, the part that happens to me before I ever leave the house. Here's an example that if I had a nickel for every time this happened, oh my goodness, I'd be so rich. Let's say we're all going to somewhere fun, like a barbecue. Oh, we've been invited to a barbecue, and it's a hot summer day or whatever. So I go in to choose my clothes. Now, my clothes that I'm going to choose are going to be what I can wear most comfortably. And that may be temperature-wise, but it may, depending on what I've got available to me, it may be that I'm choosing something based on size. Yeah, you can't get away with putting some stretch pants on if you don't have a long enough shirt, because otherwise you're going to have camel toe in the back and some other unattractiveness in the front, and the back end doesn't look so great either. So what I end up wearing is not necessarily what I'm just in love with. Now, I'm not like a fashion priority person anyway, but nobody wants to not look cute, or at least, attractive in some way. So I can't tell you how many times I would go downstairs or come out of my bedroom, come out of the shower, come out of the bath, and then Brady would go, "Oh, that looks nice, but you're going to be hot in that, aren't you?" And I think, oh, you skinny, foolish man. I, at this point, am not dressing based on, when you're that heavy, I'm not dressing based on what makes sense. I'm dressing on what I can wear, what I can get by with. And even when I pick something out, so that's one thing that's irritating that other people don't understand. And hopefully those will be things that I can curb and dress, more like regular folk at some point. But body image wise, I never have just chosen stuff that was real clingy. I look at other people that are heavy and that dress that way, and I don't judge it. I'm actually a little bit envious that they feel comfortable. I just don't feel comfortable. I don't even sleep with tight stuff on. So to imagine going out like that in public, I just wouldn't do it. So anyway, there's that. So there's your body image, and then there's your comfort level, and they collide those with something like, oh, I bought this and it seemed like it was going to be a good compromise. And then you see a picture of it later and you go, yeah, it didn't show anything inappropriate, but it sure wasn't cute. I draped these things over as opposed to I wore the clothes as opposed to letting them wear me. So the clothes and the body image, you see pictures of it later and you're like, yeah, that was the day I thought I was just working it, and it just doesn't always come out that way because there's only so much you can do when you're 5'2", 240 pounds. So there's that. And then there's the pieces and parts. Now, this is the part that I say is just, it's obvious. Intimacy and sex is not going to be as comfortable for you or anybody else involved when you either A, don't feel comfortable and about your body and about interacting when you're not clothed, and then add to that your mobility is hampered. So I don't even think I have to be any more explicit than that, than to say sex is going to be an improvement no matter what you do, because your body, your mobility will be better, and then add to the fact that you'll feel better more often. So it'll be something you actually might want to do. And then cap it all off with the fact that you might, gradually as you're working through this, you're going to feel like, my God, this is my new body. And that it's something that you can share and not hide. You can't really work that in a drape. So then the other thing that cracks me up that's better about this that I don't hear a lot of people talking about is hygiene. You are at a higher weight, no matter if you're 5'2" like I am or whatever, or if you're menopausal. That is an oxymoron. That's a good one though, menopausal. Perimenopausal, whatever, you burst into flame occasionally, and it comes in the form of sweat, where you have a hot flash. Well, no matter what you've done to hone in on your hygiene and take care of business, no matter what you have done, it's not going to be as easily managed as if you were smaller. You've got creaks and crevices that you didn't have otherwise, and add to that you cannot clean or take care of what you cannot touch or see. So whether that is leave it to your own imagination, or whether that's a pedicure. Like the reason I wore my glasses, because I wanted to remember to say this, I take on faith my girl parts, as well as how good of a job a manicure or pedicure is, because it's so far away. As long as there's 5 little dots and I know I have 5 toes, I'm just going to trust that they got it on the spot. But without glasses and without being able to reach, see, touch, and take care of your body, you don't know. I'm saying this from personal experience, but here's another tidbit. I used to support and help with patient care in hospice, as well as taking care of my dad and helping with a few others. The more sedentary you are, and most of our jobs are not exactly active, the more sedentary you are, the more your body is going to conform to the shape of your chair or whatever you've been sitting in. And I have personally taken care of several people that were either bed-bound, chair-bound, or what have you. And they require, especially when they're heavier, they require additional hygiene support to make sure that the creases and crevices are taken care of. And I could be way more specific with that, but I don't want to make anybody sick. But in nursing care, anybody that's ever done one-on-one care, you know that people need that for their skin to be revitalized, and movement and blood circulating just by going for walks and what have you. And if that isn't possible, it impacts every part of your body, including your skin. And for me, it maybe was possible, but I didn't do it. I didn't exercise and what have you the way I have and should have. So there's tons of things that are impacted by being obese that I'm looking forward to not having to deal with again in the future. And I will post, videos where I'm wearing smaller clothes, but I guarantee you that my comfort in those clothes are way more important to me than a size or what have you when I'm in those clothes. And my body image inside of them, I guess I was either blessed or cursed with the fact that I never really thought that what I had going on was that, that I was just the walking obese in terms of carrying all the weight. But it's obviously going to look better, and you'll feel better about yourself. I'll feel better about myself or whatever, theoretically. But I had the kind of dysmorphia that didn't have a whole heck of a lot of self-awareness anyway, because I just wore what I wore. And So now maybe my mind and my body will catch up with each other. The rest of the world won't notice probably much of a change because I wear clothes to meet societal norms, not because I just love wearing clothes, especially in the summer. And that's really the obesity giggles and gaps for me of what I've had to deal with that I don't like, and what I'm hoping and cherishing to look forward to. All of those things, whether it's just improved hygiene, sex and intimacy, and the ability to wear more clothes options, and an improved body image for myself. Um, yeah, so I'm not putting those limits there without a little bit of um, more thoughtfulness. I'm so encouraged by feeling better in the day. I got a little help today from my doctor, temporary, to get my sleep pattern back on track after that heparin reaction. But other than that, I'm feeling good. I'm looking forward to what the diminishing pounds are going to bring to my body and mind. And I'm having to remember that hormones are stored in fat. So this whole tummy fat that I have, and that's primarily where I gain my weight, not only is food my friend, but I am currently burning up the fuel that is in those fat reserves that are comprised of a lot of hormone. And so, yes, I cry at Christmas lights. And I'm a little bit more outspoken if someone forgets to take the garbage out or whatever. But it's all been worth it so far. And and I keep saying so far, like, honestly, the parts that remain are the better parts than what I've had. So it's theoretically only going up from here. And I'm honestly keeping in prayer any of y'all that are thinking about doing this, because it's a big decision that's permanent. Like, there's no do-overs and all that stuff. However, I'm so digging it that the good parts, I wouldn't feel bad if someone made the decision to do this. I just think that it's, for me, been a tool that I've needed. Not that I've wanted, but a tool that I've needed, and that it is doing exactly what it's needed to do for me, which is put a governor right inside my body that doesn't allow me to screw up without immediate consequence. So I don't have to wait to see the pounds come on. I feel miserable if I mess this up and blah, blah, blah. So, you get it. You get the pluses and minuses of the obesity track. I can't say enough about the support and the kindness that you guys have shared. I'm just sort of looking at my list thinking, am I pulling punches? Because I don't want to not be authentic, but I don't want to overshare. If you guys already get it, you know what the things are with obesity that are health-wise. You can do the math. Your doctor probably gave you a pamphlet. This is what's happening when you remain obese. I'm just looking at the stuff that physiologically and socially and emotionally impacted me, the stuff that's already improved, and the stuff that I have to look forward to. So, yeah, I think that's it. All right, I love y'all. It's just been real good medicine for me so far.